Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is. I'm glad you're here. So, got a bunch of stuff on my desk. We're gonna do a thing. Yeah, so here's what I was thinking. We have, some of us might have some things in their stashes that they might not know what to do with. So, for example, these are a big pouch of letters and numbers stickers. Like a whole different, like a broad variety of them. But what do you do with them? Because, you know, there's always going to be, you end up with sheets like this, right? Where you have used some letters, but not all. These kind, you know, there's going to be some missing, and then you can't spell the things you want if you're trying to spell stuff. I used to be a scrapbooker, so that's why I have a bunch of this stuff. I'm not a scrapbooker anymore. I'm a junk journaler. I'm a mixed media artist. That's what I do. That's my thing. I found my people. I found my place. I found my tribe. So, and that's what I really enjoy doing. So also, mailing seals, or the circle, I had another one. They're just like sheets of like circles that are seals for things and whatnot. They come in different colors. If you go to secondhand shops and things like that, they might be in bundles of stuff and you're like, oh, what am I gonna do with these? Well, I'm gonna give you an idea today on what you can use some of these for. I also have this. These are super vintage because they were 10 cents for this box. I mean, cool box, right? But stars. So I have these little stars that have just been hanging out. I also have these color-coded labels. Maybe you've had a garage sale in the past and you don't plan on using them, and over time they do lose their adhesive. So that's another thing you want to think about. If you don't use some of this stuff, it's gonna lose its adhesion, things like that, which is totally fine. You can still use them, just put your own glue on, you know. So some kind of mailing seal. They don't have to be round. You could use rectangles. You could use just about whatever you got, right? And then I also grabbed a stamp set. This is one from Tim Holtz. I don't know which one it is. I'm sorry, I can't tell you that. But it is a Tim Holtz set because I'm going to use one of these to add some extra layers to these. And then I have some ink. Okay. So I'm going to set this stuff off to the side a little bit, or kind of get organized. I just pulled a few of these sheets out of my big envelope there that had some missing on them, and I thought they were unique. These are kind of like an epoxy sticker, so they have some texture to them. I thought they were cool. I'm like, let's use up some of these. So I grabbed a few of those just to see, and then we'll pull these guys out, or a sheet of these. See? And then look, we have partial sheets of these too. Like, come on. And I got these from somebody else, right? So they were in boxes of stuff. It happens. It does happen. So here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna first add some color to these. I have picked aged mahogany and some ground espresso because I don't want them to be white. So we're going to change their color. So I'm just going to get some color down on these guys. Just start building up some different interest. Now the ones that already have the backing off, we might not be able to brush across. We'll try it and see, because why not? Okay, so there's because I want them to be a little grungy. We are working in a grungy journal. Let's put some, see if the aged mahogany will go on these ones. Oh yeah. They're still sticky enough that they're not gonna be a problem. So yeah, let's do some with the brown and let's do some with the red, because I do have another project where I need some red stuff. So that's what we're doing. Making things to go with the stuff that we need to use. That's how we do. So I just put some ink on those so they weren't white anymore, because sometimes when stuff is white, you're like, what do I do? Well, we're gonna change the color. That's what we're doing. Next, let's add a little stamping texture. And I am just going to use one of these guys to start getting some background pattern on. I'm going to use black for this one. And it doesn't matter the orientation or anything like that. But I'm going to cover a bunch of these a little bit. So that's what we're doing. Let's get this one too. Cool. All right. Now we're going to do some brown on this. Yep, there's some black on here, but that's okay. So let's do some brown, and I'm going to go like this. And like this. And like that. Okay. So we're just adding a next layer of texture onto these guys. That's all we're doing. You just pick something and go with it. This would be great. You could even, with these, do your background and then put a little flower on it. And then you have a fun sticker you can start adding to things. But basically, we're making like a little sticky cluster, right? That's pretty much what we're doing. So next, what I'm going to do, just so I can see my circles, I'm going to take this part off like this, so that we can see better what we have happening. Now this guy, I'm not going to throw that away because that's already a little cool, but I don't have something to stick it in right now. So I'm going to just stick it to this glue bottle over here temporarily till I can throw that onto a page or into one of my mixed media books or something like that to start adding some background texture. Okay, come on back. Next, we're gonna do like a little scrap of paper or a little scrap of fabric. That's what I should have done. It's gotten a few little, see if I've got some tiny, oh yeah, I do. Some little tiny texture bits that we can add. So I want a few of these to get this black and white because that goes with one journal that I'm working on. And then I want something kind of grungy and yucky on this, yucky. Well, different textures, some browns or things like that. Let's see, here's a brown kind of tatty looking piece. Let's do that one. So you can make these to go with whatever theme of your journal or project that you're working on, or if you like certain stuff, you can do that. So next, all I'm going to do is take a couple of these little snips and we're going to add them on to a few of these in some places. So I'm just going to pick a couple, and it's okay if they go off the edge just a tiny bit, totally fine, because we're going to glue them down. So just going to get a few of these guys. And then we're going to use some paper on some of them too. So we're just kind of building up some different layers, kind of a mini mass make, if you want to think about it like that. Try not to have them be too like uniform here. I want them to be all a little different. Let's see. That should be good. Now I have some of this left over from working on our little journal, so I'm gonna put some of these, a couple here and there. Just seeing what I have on my desk, using it up. You could use washi tape, you could use just about anything. Here's a little piece of book page. Going to take the words. What else do we have? Look, there's a tiny little flower on this scrap. Let's put you, actually let's do you over here, and then just some variation to have a different kind of texture happening. What else do we have in our little, oh, that's kind of fun. Okay. That is pretty cool. All right, so let's go put one of these here, because these I want to be really black and white and red. And then let's put this guy over here. What else do we have? What else? What else? This is kind of like a red orange kind of thing. I think it'll go well. All right, let's do a couple little snippets of this guy. So basically, I'm going to try and put 3 tiny things. But we have like our background. Now we have a piece of paper. Then we could just add our sticker if we wanted to, or if we want to layer a few things, we could. So you could do a little scrap of fabric and a little piece of paper. Also an option. Let's do one more. Let's do, oh, this is tiny. Let's go here like that. Okay, I like that. So basically we're just kind of having fun with it. So I'm going to keep doing this for a minute. Maybe I'll fast forward some as I'm layering these. So we have 2 scraps on each one. Now we're going to glue those down. So now I will quickly do that. All glued. Now let's get some of these on here. So numbers would be great, but you know what? We're going to use what we have. So we're just going to get some of these on here. We're going to just do a variety of stuff. Let's see if I do have, oh, here we go. These are in gold and there are some numbers here. So I did, you can see like I did have a few issues with the gluing. And I switched to my tweezer, which actually worked fabulously. Do a little gold, that looks nice. Let's do so now just finishing touches for these, putting some of the letters or numbers on them, and then we'll have a finished little thing. And then I realized I haven't used these guys. Let's grab a couple stars out because I do want a couple for on here. So there's a silver one, there's a red, some red, there's a gold, and these say they're pre-gummed. But yeah, I'm just gonna put a tiny dot of glue on these guys and put them on a few spots here. So let's do a little gold star. And we'll do a silver one. And we'll do a red one over here. All right, so a couple stars. We have 2 numbers. I had some other, yes. I'll use a couple of these guys. Is there an R? No R's, bummer. I was hoping there was an R, but alas, there is not, so. Just use some random letters here. Use an A. And then we got one more. Let's do another gold letter for that one, or gold number. Is there an R on here? No R there either. You know why I don't have many R's? Because my sister's kids, several of them, their names have R's in them. Let's do the number 4. Okay, so those ones are good. We have a few more to do in here. Let's put a couple stars. I do not want a red star. That's too bright, but we could do a silver. Could do a silver star. Could do... Oh, I don't know what that is. Gross. Well, I grabbed a silver one, so I guess we're gonna do another silver one. No, come back. Let's see. There's a gold one in here. And let's do a couple more numbers and letters. These ones are cool. And they're getting like funny texture from stuff sitting on them in the package. Okay, so yeah, you could just use just about anything to do this, to add some interest. How many do we have left? One there. And using up the remnants of things that you have, right? So what are you going to do if you don't have the words that you need for things? Well, ta-da! Now you have something you can use, some of those random leftovers that you've got. Let's do a question mark. That sounds fun. Question mark. That one and that one. I think this one needs one of the heavier duty. Let's do an E. An E sounds interesting. Let's do an E. And then that guy. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I have one leftover sticker on this. So this is what it can look like if you have like just some tiny other stickers. So I put a shell on there so you could see a little bit of a difference. And then real quick, because I realized I didn't use these, let me just grab one more of these sheets quick so you can see what an example to do with those colors, because they are, for me, a bit bright. Maybe not for you, and that's okay. It's definitely not my color palette to do something like that, so I'll just make one or two of those really quick. So okay, so we got those colors. Let's go ahead and hit it with, let's hit these with a little bit of black. Actually, we're gonna make this darker. I'm gonna color the whole sheet, but I'm only gonna make a couple of these just to kind of give you an idea of what you could do. All right, there's the black. Let's do a different type of stamp on here, just from our sheet. Let's see how these flowers will work. My stamp block is not quite big enough, but I think it'll be okay to do this. So let's go ahead. Because we're just putting it on there for like background anyway, right? So if it's not perfect, totally fine. Okay, now these friends. Okay, well, I'm just going to use those two because they're right there. So that's bright. Let's make it less bright. Okay, so that already a million % different, right? Let's do something else here too. Let's do this. See how we can just start making some things even more interesting. Let's see what else we have handy that's close by, other scrappies that we could show you. Oh, here, look at this. These are more in the color line of what we have happening. So these are just some little Post-its that I got at a secondhand shop. So oh, you know what I need to do before I go any further? I need to take this part off so we don't stick to it by accident. There we go. So you can see already the big difference in the two just by changing colors, changing technique a little bit. I guess the technique is similar. That's not really a big change. But the material we're using, you know, very different contrast and design. This is definitely a little bit more modern looking. Okay. So there's a couple more little things. Okay, so we have brighter colors. Well, you know what? This still will go. Let's do this. A couple more. What have I got? I'll go with that. Do we have some numbers? Numbers would be great. Oh, here, look. I have these little hearts. How cute. How super duper cute. See how much of a difference, like the contrast that we can get from these just when we try something a little bit different. Let's do a blue. These are really fun, actually. I was not convinced about those circles, but you know what? You got to use what you have, right? Let's do a green, maybe. Do we have a green? Here's a 4. Let's do a green, 4, 2 more. What else do we have? Just another variation here. Oh, here. Look at these guys. How about this friend? A little big, but that's okay. Oh, here. This is another good option. These are plaid. So funny. But look at that. How very different and fun those could be. So you could really have it go with just about anything, or just have fun, and it doesn't have to go with anything. You just make a thing. Make something fun just to make something fun. So there you go. You have your own little kind of mixed media stickers, really. So there we go. Let me show you guys. Okay, so neutrals. Definitely not neutral. You could even kick it up a notch. You not use the ink or whatever on these, but how fun is that? And then of course, choosing some color, but staying to like certain colors. And then, let me see. I have these tags handy. Maybe I've got one that can get one of these guys straight off. I made these the other day using up some scraps. You need some extra fun. You know what? I think this guy. Oh, that blue isn't quite right. The blue's not quite right, so we'll put you back. Maybe we have a different one. I really think it needs a friend on here. You know what? We can use this one. We can use one of these. Let's use this one. Yeah, that'll work. So there you go. Just added it to a little tag there, just to add a little extra fun. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this little video, and I'm curious to see what kind of stuff you would use. Ah, no, go back. Stay there, friend. Anyway, here you go. Here's our little fun project for the day. Try it out, see what you think. And yeah, I hope it works out for you. I'm sure it will. And if it doesn't, I hope you learned something along the way. So, art with your heart, guys. Have a great day. Bye.